How's everyone? Good, good.
Byron, how refreshing was it to see those deep ball connections that you guys have been trying to get this year, but they happened in some big game?
It was good to see it happen, especially in the ball game. Especially from those two, right? From those two, it was good to see those two finally get connected in a big way, right? They did it in a big way, in a very important ball game, so it was good to see.
On the broadcast, it said Erin Andrews, I guess, spoke to you, and you had mentioned to her that you wanted to get back to attacking on first down. What spurred that? Like, why this week as opposed to previous? I know that they were giving you, 8-man fronts at times and some single high looks, but.
No, it wasn't first down. It was just in general, really. I think we're getting better as a group. I think this group is learning how to play the moments that we got to make plays, understanding what we got to do to really win football games. It's so hard to get that done when you're switching so many bodies in and out the huddle during the season. When it's OTAs and training camp, you do certain things from a physical standpoint every day so you can quickly get to a certain place. But that's tough in season. And I think we're getting to a point where we can just be in that mode more than not. Just
take those risks and feel comfortable doing it?
I don't see it as a risk. I just say just playing football in an aggressive way.
Byron, can you talk about Devin Tompkins, the development that he's made this year to go from the practice squad as an undrafted free agent to the active roster? I would assume you might get some more reps on offense this week if you guys, are looking at maybe resting some starters or getting some guys out of it early. But what have you seen from Tompkins?
Same thing I said last week. Has been exceptional really since he's gotten here. He's really good from a technique standpoint. Very explosive player. He's a smaller guy that plays big. He jumps as high as you need to jump. He catches whatever ball he needed to catch. He's a hands catcher, so he can pluck the ball on the run while he's running fast. So he's a player that's been exciting really since he's gotten here and has earned his way onto the successes he's had, really earned everything that he's gotten since he's been here. You appreciate that as a coach. You appreciate that as a former player, a guy who's been in the locker room. It's always great to see players like that have success.
How will you manage winning the game, playing guys, and then maybe it gets to a point where you say, hey, we got to protect some people for the postseason. I mean, you got to play somebody, right? You got 53 in the roster.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like it's a preseason game.
So there's that, but still, every play is football. Things can happen, and you don't want to get anyone hurt ever. But how will you know? Is that a head coaching thing?
Yeah, I'll let Todd handle that. Really, who's ever out there going to play. I still think we got things to work on, things we can get better at. Really. So that's how I really see it. I don't have to think of that. That's Todd. He'll think and tell us what he need to tell us, however he want from that standpoint. But, from my mindset, it's going out preparing, trying to play as good as football as possible as we can.
What do you need to work on? I've heard that several times. We got things we need to work on.
Everything. Even when we do things well, I don't think that's something that we can just say we got it.
Yeah.
I never view it that way. So I think it's something that you continuously got to work on it. Continuous situations happen in practice so we can communicate more and more about the things we do well, the things we don't do so well. So I just think as many as those opportunities, I think reps are so big in this league, especially with the practice schedule that we have. It's not as physical as it's been before. So as many as those communication game reps as you can get, I think the better. I really do.
Byron, you talked about Tompkins. Are there other guys, if for whatever reason you are able to pull starters, are there other backups that you haven't played much that you'd like to see on Sunday?
Who's ever out there. I don't really want to get into. It don't matter. It's 11 people in the huddle. I expect the 11 to do well when they're in the huddle. So who's ever that is, I want to see them all play. I just like football. I like good football. So who's ever out there, I expect them to play at a certain level.
In a game like this that obviously doesn't have an impact on the playoff status for you guys, are you aware of like maybe records or incentives that guys are close to achieving that you'd like to get them to?
Y'all got to ask Shady that.
Kind of a good question, but I guess you kind of could expect that from me. 2005, missed 5 games at the end of the season, and then you started a postseason game. Lamar Jackson may be on a similar track. What are some of the challenges that come with that as a player when you miss a significant chunk at the end of the regular season, then all of a sudden you're thrust out there in the playoffs?
I ran into Thomas. I think that was the biggest problem. We ran into the Patriots, right? It's all unique. It's an individual thing. I don't want to speak on his situation at all, really. I got so much respect for him, so much respect for that coach there. I'm playing in Pittsburgh again, so I have so much respect for how they go about their business really up there. So they'll find out and do the right thing. It's all different. It's all depend on the person. It didn't work out for me, but he's a way better player than I was.
Did you feel rusty? I mean, because that position, it's not just a physical position, it's a cerebral position. So mentally, you've got to be so on top of things.
No, I felt great. We just lost to a better team. I felt great, actually.
We talked yesterday about, to coach about, Kyle Trask, who, I think he's been active maybe one game in his career. You see him out there early, we see how hard he works. But there's no reward in terms of playing, and that's just where he's at, right? But from your standpoint, when you see him at practice or you evaluate him, how much better has he gotten? Where has he gotten better? And is that hard to do as a player? Is like, hey man, you're going out there every day and there's no reward.
And his approach hasn't changed. That's the amazing thing about Kyle, the way he approaches it, right? I remember early in the year, people mad at Kyle Trask for not playing in front of Tom Brady. That blew my mind. That's even the conversation, right? Like, Tom's here and people mad at Kyle for not playing. You only play one at a time. It's not like other positions. So for him, he's came in, he's learned, the way he approaches it. This kid goes so hard every day, learning, get as whatever reps he get, he accepts and try to execute them at a high level. So that's all you really can do. I think he understands his situation. I think he understands who he's behind. So it's good to see him get better, but we haven't seen him out there, right? We haven't really seen him officially out there doing it. I may have opinions of what I think he can do, but until he's given the opportunity to really go out there and do it, nobody would know really. But we feel good about what he's done throughout practice.
You can see him get better over the last few years.
Yes.
Are you curious? I'm sorry. Are you curious to see how it translates onto the field in a real game? I mean, you've watched him for 2 years.
As of right now, 2023, I got my mind on other things. That's not how you think as a coach. I mean, he's playing behind Tom. What are we talking about, right? Let's not even have that conversation, right? Kid's working his tail off, though, but he's playing in front of the greatest ever. Well, behind the greatest ever.
You may not know about this record, but Tom is 262 yards away from being the second all-time passing leader on this team in franchise history. To see him able to do that in 3 years.
On this?
40-something years. But to be number 2 and just be able to pull that off in 3 years, how amazing does that tell you?
I think it's shown what he's done since he's been here. I know we get a lot of slack for how this year turned out, but what we've done together has been unique. What he's done has been unique since he's been here. It just speaks for Tom, says who he is. That's unreal, though. I didn't even know that myself, but to be able to do that in 3 years, it really shows you the success we've had the first couple years here, the success. I know it looks bad to everybody, but I just can't. I think we're the 12th best offense in the league. Ain't that something? Still got a long way to go, right? Long way to go, but it just says a lot about who he is and what he brings to the table, about all the guys around him, and what the historic pace he's really been playing at since he's been here. Says a lot.
Speaking of that, 30 points a game isn't something that you've seen a lot of this year, but we saw it this past week against Carolina. And I know every week you tell us, we're closer than you guys probably think we are. And you saw that on Sunday. Did you see kind of a light kind of go on? Because it's hard sometimes when guys are out there and they're working and working and working and they don't quite get that light at the end of the tunnel and all of a sudden it's there. And you have it.
I think it's been moments where we haven't really been that bad. I think you guys over-exaggerate because we look different. The numbers say we're not that far off. We're awful on third down and red zone. It's disappointing, those two things, for us as a team with who we have. But when you really listen to people talk about us, that's emotions talking. That's not really people that's watching us get better every week. For some reason, everybody want to throw dirt on the Bucs, but we're not ready for people to throw dirt on us.
Anything else?